I get it. I understand. It's super annoying and frustrating when every influencer these days says, prepare for a 10x in the next 5 days, 10 days, or 30 days. I totally understand. But I truly do believe there's going to be a bull run. And in that same respects, I believe the bull run's due to kick off here anytime soon. I think we're on borrowed time right now. And so I think that the prices these coins are at right now are fantastic to DCA for a 10x. I'm not talking a price prediction. I'm not talking about a theoretical price the coin may go to at max. I'm talking about a 10x in terms of actually being able to make that sell levels. There's a massive difference. You don't want to sell at a price prediction because chances are there's no liquidity up there. You'll get out much lower. And if you stay tuned to the very end, I have a brand new coin I've not yet discussed that I'm really bullish on. I just bought some of this coin today actually, and I want to talk more about it. But of course, we do have a lot to go through in this video. So before we do, if you find yourself enjoying it, learn something new, or want to say thank you, hit that like down there. It does mean a lot. Subscribe. But some of you are sitting there saying, Kyron, I don't believe you. These coins can't 10x. There's no way this coin can go to a 10, 20, 30 billion market cap. Impossible. Well, I beg to differ. You see, a lot of people are thinking because there's a lot of new coins in the market these days, that means that if we have even a 10 or 12 trillion dollar market cap, there's not enough money to go around. Where I do think this has some merit is that I haven't picked the coins that are very low market caps, and these are the coins that will actually suffer from that diagram. You have the coin ranked 1001 right down to however many coins you want to say are in existence. Let's say there's 10 million, right? They make up at least 95% of all the cryptocurrencies in crypto. Again, that's at least, all right? It's probably much more than that depending on how many you want to consider are out there. Now, if you have a look at how much money, market cap, out of the whole market cap is in these coins, it's not even 3%. What does that mean? Well, at least 95% of all the cryptocurrencies have only 3% of the current market cap, which is $3.6 trillion. That's not good. That is not good when you have those deep, dark trenches of people trading in, these coins that come out of nowhere, that pump, dump, and then you have all the issues with liquidity and slippage. I mean, that's the trenches. That's where we don't want to be, and that's where most people coming into crypto aren't looking anyway. They're not looking that deep. So the coins I'm going to focus on today are mainly centered around like top 500-ish coins, even top 1,000 coins. So you don't really want to be beneath this right now, okay? You want to look for these areas because this, as this bar graph here shows you, is where most of the money is going to be anyway, okay? These are all pretty much on centralized exchanges. I, for one, don't even like buying coins that are strictly on DEXs, decentralized exchanges, because it's always a hard time either trying to sell it or store it. I want to keep it simple, and so do millions of other people that have much less knowledge than me. The coins I've picked today are, of course, quality. They've got great opportunities right now. I think the market caps at a 10x are very realistic, and they don't have too many competitors in the general vicinity. I mean, top 1,000, or even like the coins today, top 500 altcoins, they've kind of been pre-selected already by the market to do quite well this bull run as long as they continue on that sort of rapid marketing path that hopefully they're doing right now. And this is good because if you have a coin that you're looking in the low market cap ranks, of course, there's more coins in that area, which means more of the exact same type of coins and far less money in those areas, which means if you are new, fresh money, first of all, it's overwhelming. You're likely not even looking for the coin. And even if you find it, it's hard for that project to convince you to buy their coin because ultimately it's the same as the coin next to it. The first one is Wormhole. Ticker is W. It's in the Solana ecosystem. It's interoperability, so it's cross-chain, and it's also real-world asset. Now, I love Wormhole. If you actually click all here, the chart looks kind of gross. And if you're a beginner in crypto, this might mean something to you. If you're even half decently experienced, that means nothing to you. But we're pretty much close to lows. And what does that tell me? Well, we're close enough. You can see here that where we're at right now is this green dotted line. We are close enough towards the actual bottom of the price range that really the risk and reward here is very substantial, okay? It's pretty much all up, given that the market decides to go up here in the short term. They recently partnered up with Securitize, and they have a very good relationship with them. And Securitize are very well connected with BlackRock in the sense that now Wormhole is going to be transferring all of BlackRock's tokenized assets into crypto. So you can see right now the working relationship is just Optimum, Arbitrum, Polygon, Aptos, and Avalanche. but this will quickly grow, and when it does, so will the demand and interest in Wormhole. So again, the 10x from here I think is realistic. That is a $2.20 token at a roughly speaking 6 billion market cap. So you kind of want to really ask yourself, not so much is the price going to happen, because that's irrelevant. The conversation is, will the market cap allow people to believe that that price isn't overvalued? If that market cap was 60 billion, 100% I wouldn't have it on this list. But I believe a 6 billion market cap, or circa 6 billion, is enough room for people to still want to keep buying the coin because it's realistic. And from its recent high here of about 40 cents before the market turned around, guys, that was a 5.5x. A 5.5x is very realistic for a coin like this. Don't let, as every other coin on this list, the recent price action that has pulled these coins down to fantastic buying opportunities sway you. That's why I'm making this video, because they have fallen down substantially to put them on the list. Okay, and they haven't degraded in quality. Like Beam hasn't lost, going from like 40 cents here to about half of that, if actually less than half of that. It hasn't lost half of the interest. It hasn't lost half of what it had a few months ago. It's just Bitcoin pulling all these down. So of course, Beam is my next pick here. This actually allows us to hit the gaming and AI space. Technically, they're also doing real world assets, but I'm not going to include a sub narrative. I want to include what it's most known for, or what it will be most known for when it eventually decides to pump. So Beam's had some pretty huge news recently. They've branched out as their own layer 1 network. They have massive partnerships in the gaming space in Abu Dhabi. They've partnered up with, I believe it's Aether, to make that happen. I actually recently bought some more of this on the dip. Now, where can it go? Well, I think a 7 billion market cap here at 15 cents is very realistic. You can see the GGR zones here from previous videos. It's under the green zone, which is fantastic. And like I said with Wormhole, the recent price action here wicked up to around about just over 4 cents. That's, guys, just under a 4x from that point in time. So you see what I'm saying here? The recent price action is deceiving. The next coin is Injective. Now, Injective is one of the most overpowered quality coins of the bull run, yet it's so under the radar right now. It's in DeFi. It's an infrastructure play. It's real world assets, AI agents, and technically doubles into the DeFi AI space as well. So it does quite a lot. And I'm really excited about this coin because they just do not stop. They are relentless with their upgrades and partnerships. Recently here, they fully integrated the Ethereum virtual machine into the actual protocol itself, which just means that people can bring over and port over their Ethereum smart contracts onto Injective, which would make sense because it's much faster than Ethereum. It's seamless. You can even add modules in here like without any really extra work at all. And you also have access to Solana. I mean, honestly, guys, I think the growth for this coin is probably going to be one of the best. They also burn tokens. Like I've said many, many times now on the channel, if there was going to be a coin I was an advisor for, based on what I know about what makes coins pump, I would be advising a project to do exactly what Injective has done to the T. I wouldn't change a single thing. They're doing everything correctly. Now, from the current price here at about $19 or so, that's about $183, which is under the green zone at about $18 billion market cap, which obviously I think is most definitely realistic. Again, that's why I added them. There were a few coins, like I said before, that I had to actually remove from this list that I wanted to add because I thought they were good prices, but I just thought the 10x growth from here wasn't quite realistic as actual sell levels. So at a 5.5x from recent highs, definitely feasible. Aerodrome Finance is our next coin. It's in the base ecosystem, which I think will attract a lot of institutional demand this cycle. I've made many videos on this. And also it's DeFi. It's the de facto, it's the DEX of Aerodrome essentially, right? So if you want to go into the base ecosystem, you pretty much have to use Aerodrome. One of the reasons why I like it, many others do as well, is because it gives all of the fees back to token holders, which right now it's doing even more revenue than major layer 1 networks. So it's really cranking up the revenue here. Considering base doesn't actually have a token, this I think gives a lot of speculation potential for the next best coin in that ecosystem, which of course is Aerodrome. Recently, we had cryptocurrency's largest market maker, Wintermute, actually go ahead and say they've acquired a large position in Aerodrome, but actually went the next step and they've staked these tokens. So now they're getting rewards themselves back for this. All this means is that now Wintermute, the largest market maker in all of crypto, which apparently Binance and Coinbase are using right now to manipulate the market, that's how big they are, is I think they're going to have a vested interest in the success of Aero. This also means because they are staking, they don't want to pump the coin, I think, to like massive highs and have it come down. They will probably want this coin to do steady returns over the course of the next 12 months. But nevertheless, that does mean up action. And in this case, I think $10 is a very, very realistic level to get out of. You can see here, we've got some support around this level. And honestly, I do think around $1 has been a very good point to get in. 8 billion market cap for sure possible. I see this coin going to $15, $20, or even possibly more. It'll do better than PancakeSwap in the last cycle, and it'll probably match what Uniswap did in the last cycle, which I believe from memory was around the high teens, early low 20 billion market cap range. Aether is a deep in AI and real world asset coin here. Recently, real world asset, they have a partnership now with Injective to tokenize GPUs to allow people to trade their GPU power. Now, Aether's a great project. Recently, there's a little bit of scrutiny around the whole DeepSeek situation, but I do think this is about to blow over. And Aether's importance will come back into the cycle, particularly because these guys focus mainly on institutions. I think we'll find that ultimately what comes from this whole DeepSeek situation is that more of these companies won't really need to buy their own GPU power, and because they can potentially do more with less hardware, they may want to just go ahead and just use Aether or something like that as infrastructure to save themselves buying a bunch of like expensive GPUs when it could all be done out of their own data station, for example, and all online. They've recently partnered up here with Avalanche themselves to bring on more people into AI. Again, they've partnered with Injective. They've partnered with many different protocols recently to be the kind of like the infrastructure for all of their AI services. Big stuff for Aether, very small coin right now. And actually, I do see a realistic 3 billion market cap. 52 cents, I think, is a quite good 10x in my personal opinion. Now, Render is my next pick here. It's in the Solana ecosystem, which is often overlooked. It's the largest deep in the Sol ecosystem, and I believe the largest AI play in the Sol ecosystem as well. It's also now doubling into the AI agent atmosphere. Previously hadn't. It was more so rendering and allowing people to use the render network to process things in a distributed way, but now they are actually embedding some of these services within Render itself, so people will be able to leverage Render's infrastructure for LLMs and things like this. Now, it's come down quite a bit recently, right? It was about $10. It was looking quite good. Then it fell down to $5. So I think my price prediction of like $60 here, or just under, might seem a bit confusing to some when you compare it to the current price, right? Again, that's a 10x. But if you have a look from its recent price of $10 or $11, you begin to ask yourself, well, if this never happened, if we had probably the bullish momentum we're about to have now, but over here, and things are just moving sideways, that's only about a 5.5x, guys. Like many other coins on this list, you see the repeating pattern here. It's under the green zone, 30 billion market cap for a coin that is in narratives like this at the very top of its field, particularly, like I said just a minute ago, because it's actually doubling down in their AI sort of push here as the narrative. I just don't see a situation where Render does not do well. And it's one of the very few coins I think will do well in perpetuity, regardless of what happens this bull run. Now, tomorrow's video will be on Near and Render, so I won't talk again too much about these two coins. I'll dive more into them tomorrow. But again, these guys are infrastructure, AI, really heading AI heavy here. AI agent and DeFi AI. The thing about Mina Protocol was in the last cycle, it went up to $20 without any clear direction. It was just a new coin, a new layer one with an interesting idea. As a matter of fact, it pumped well after Bitcoin and even gaming coins that pumped over here. If I try and show you here, Bitcoin is in orange. You can see when Bitcoin actually topped out, this was the second top. It was way over here. It was months and months and months after that, even after gaming coins. This time around, Mina Protocol means something. It's an AI agent protocol. It has an actual ecosystem now. You know, people know sort of how it works. There's more research, more interest on it. Like there is something tangible there now. And I think where they're doubling down on is AI agents because they're smart, because essentially, like I said at the start of the video with the wealth distribution, you have so many new AI agent protocols in the low, deep, dark depths of crypto. But in terms of like top tier AI agent coins, I think most of the interest will flow into like Mina Protocol, Fetch and these sort of coins. And I think DWF partnership here with Mina really says something about that. DWF are like a VC / market maker themselves, and they bootstrapped like a $20 million ecosystem grant program with Mina to single-handedly bring on AI agents for Mina. And they have a very ambitious roadmap here to bring on AI agents and what that actually means for crypto. They have a thing called Near Intense. It's a whole different conversation. I've mentioned it multiple times now, but Noticing I'm, again, going into my old pattern of continuing to elaborate when I really shouldn't be. So I'll say that for tomorrow's video. But needless to say, at a 10x, that's about a 52 billion market cap. So I do see Mina Protocol in my eyes going a higher market cap on average than other coins, just because it does have that Solana-esque feel to it, where it's like going to be a top tier layer one that separates itself in the next cycle. Like I'm talking like maybe top 15 coin, top 10 coin, in that sense. That's my 2 cents on the conversation. You may disagree, that's fine. Mina Protocol is the next coin here, probably one of the more risque coins, and the reason being is because we don't have a sort of clear jigsaw puzzle right now for exactly how Mina is going to penetrate the bull run. We know their infrastructure, we know their ZKPs, they're leaders in this area, and they're also probably doubling down into real world assets. But like I said, I want to see some clear direction from Mina here. They just launched their token standard like sort of mid to late last year, so it's very new, very fresh, which means a lot of potential, but also extra risk. They've actually partnered up with a company here worth about 600 billion US dollars that are going to be leveraging ZK attestations, which are essentially a way in which, you know, Mina Protocol will have a good use case in real world assets, because in real world assets, of course, BlackRock, you know, is offering you a product to buy, let's say Tesla. However, you don't really want to give them your social security number, or you don't want to give them your passport number and all this sort of stuff. So Mina says, hey, we can step in. You can actually provide this information to BlackRock, and BlackRock can't actually see it's you. They just know you've provided it and it's up to date and accurate. There's a really big power to this technology, and it's kind of like a little bit of wizardry, right? But Mina's at the forefront of this and doing more than just that. They've got a whole bunch of awesome stuff they're building. But like I said, in that sense, this could be a very high potential gaining coin, or it could just do pretty okay. But I think a 10x from these levels is realistic. 6 billion market cap at $4.50. Now, quickly, some honorable mentions I won't talk too much about because I do talk about these coins quite a lot. And I'll be honest with you, these 2 coins that I'm about to mention here, I've got one more at the very end as well, are towards the very top threshold of a safer 10x in my opinion. First of all, we have Ondo Finance. They have a massive summit coming Feb 6. This may usher us into a very quick real asset narrative push, which I think might even be beginning to spark up now. Either way, you can see that's a 45 billion market cap at $15. So if you're asking me, that's toward the higher side. I mean, I think that these guys could honestly go above 20 bucks. But that would require a like sort of Solana or Cardano-esque gainer where like the whole market comes in, rallies around Ondo, and begins FOMOing in. Otherwise, I don't really want to look as a 10x here for Ondo as like that safer exit level. I would go definitely under that, personally speaking. And we also have ICP as well. I think this coin, speaking in terms of like the growth potential, can definitely exceed 42 billion market cap, which is 86 bucks. That's the sort of 10x growth from here. And that's mainly because it's by overall developers in last year's report here, number 4. So it had a 75% developer growth. And also a lot of full-time developers are actually working on this as well. So the ecosystem's building. They had a massive partnership with Hedera recently, where Hedera is using these guys for their smart contracts and also for their AI capabilities, which is going to be massive. One of the representatives in this video right here, even from ICP, said that they're actually working with many projects right now to bring the AI capabilities to many different areas and projects of crypto. All in all though, guys, I do think that ICP has a potential here to go to $10. And as you can see here, I actually think it can even go up to 136. We just scraped through to the green zone here. But honestly, as a general video, I do it a bit like a 10x coin, for example. I don't think that it really does fit the same criteria as some of the other coins I have mentioned on this list that are well and truly like Mina here in the green zone. So it does contend, but again, given the GGR zones, it's probably just squeezing through. And the last coin, I'm actually still researching it right now, but I wanted to drop it to you guys nice and early because I see it really picking up here this 12 months. So that's called Plume. Now, before I get any more into it, massive shout out to Not Telling. Please go follow this guy right now. Let's try to get him to 15,000 followers in the next week. He deserves it. He's called Ondo, he's called Morpho, and now he's called Plume. And he got me into Morpho, and now he got me into Plume. We kind of met and connected via our research in Ondo. So I actually did some more research on his call a few days ago, and I was very, very excited with what I saw. His call, I think average people are up about 50% right now. So check it out, 300 million market cap. These guys are real world asset / tokenization. They just launched like a week ago, all right? January 21st Not many people know about it. They haven't even actually launched their mainnet yet. They've already got $4 billion worth of tokenized assets to already come on chain from their massive partners, and they have huge backers. Now, the tokenomics of Plume are actually quite good. Community has 46%, foundation 13%, core contributors, which include people who put any time into building out the project, 20%, and early backers 21%. This is slightly over industry average. Industry average says the third parties have about 50%. These guys are under, which is good. But where they're over, which is not a good thing, is the backers. Backers on average in any sort of crypto project have about 17.5% of the supply. These guys have 21%. But here's the redeeming factor. The vesting schedule is actually very, very good. It pretty much prevents any worry, in my personal opinion, because you can see the early backers over here don't start getting their tokens until like the end of this year, like Q4 this year. Chances are the bull run's finishing up by then. The core contributors as well are the exact same. So really, there's a good chance that we won't even notice any of that. Most of it is community and ecosystem. $1.60 or again a 10x from here at a 3.2 billion market cap's realistic, especially because they're tokenizing $4 billion already as soon as they come on chain. So big shout out to Not Telling here. Again, this guy's a gem, guys. Please go ahead and follow him. I'll leave the link to him down below on Twitter. While you're at it, go follow me as well. Now look, before I go, there is no such guaranteed thing as a 10x, but risk and reward, going off potential gain versus where these coins are right now, I think that's where the term easiest comes in. I mean, you got a DCA, of course. We could go a bit lower in the short term before we eventually push up. But I do think, given the current multiples, a 10x for these coins is very much on the cards. So guys, thank you all for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.